The first song was Matilda Murdoch on the old fiddle, and that song was called Fiddleheads. And now we're going to get into another Matilda. This one's called One for Francis. And this one is called Harvest Moon Hornpipe, also by the great Matilda Murdoch. As I dangerously drive through Chatham with one hand on the camera. Thank you, Matilda. We got some high winds today in the old Miramichi. High tide. We're expecting another storm to hit us in early April here. So we're hoping it's more rain than snow. Oh yeah, Roger. Now Raj, there would have been a little bit of a drive maybe with a musical Miramichi tune playing in the car as I've been doing. Yeah. I just don't know what that is yet because I haven't filmed it yet. This is a little morning session. We're actually at high noon here. Raj got a fire going. It's nice and toasty here. How you doing today, Raj?
Oh, not too bad.
Not too bad. Josh texted me last night. Josh being Roger's middle child. He said that we did 2005, 4 parts. Yeah. But when I was labeling them for the YouTube, I put part 3 twice. So Josh Como noticed that.
Okay.
So we had Theodore Williston. We showed a few snippets of him, and what I realized is that I didn't really give much of a. I just assumed everybody would know who he was, and most of you guys probably do. But Roger went up to get his book signed. That's Theodore's autograph right there, and Theodore's 93. So we mentioned that on, I think it was June or July. What was the date of that? The Escuminac disaster. It was 1959, June 19th, 1959. Well, the reason Theodore Williston is a kind of a local hero and a well-known guy, he was 27 years old. He was he was one of the youngest captains of a ship that went out. Most of them were fishing salmon. Theodore told me he was actually fishing mackerel. And I think 50 something, 57 or whatever it was, the number of boats, fishing boats, went out. They knew there was a little bit of weather coming, but nobody could foresee for some reason. It was like a perfect storm that happened. And 20, however many boats sank, 35 men died that night. And Theodore, it was one of the youngest captains that brought his boat back to safety. He was speaking to us about that. And it was a really special day, Raj, to go and hang out with him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he enjoyed it too. Like, he really enjoyed it. And I got a lot out of that. So that's a little bit more on the Theodore. And now, Raj, as I mentioned yesterday, I went up the other day to Creative Grounds and spoke to Al Sutherland. And Al's been a local Chatham guy. He's been living in Chatham for many years now. And he participates in many sports through the Special Olympics. And he wanted to show me some things. And I said, sure thing. Went up. We did a little chit chat. So right now you will see my interview with Al that was filmed a couple of days ago. So we'll catch up with you guys after that interview in 15 minutes, I think. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Mirami-histor-chi. Anybody that's on the Miramichi for any amount of time is going to recognize this fine gentleman who's sitting beside me right now, Big Al Sutherland. You prefer to be called Al rather than Alan, eh?
It doesn't matter.
No? But what do you prefer? Do you like Al or Alan? What do most people call you?
Big Al.
Big Al. Okay, so the reason I got Big Al here is because I come in the mornings in Creative Grounds, and like I'll say, we're very fortunate for Victor to give us the space upstairs today to do our interview, right? So thanks, Victor, at Creative Grounds. And so I was here the other day, and I was talking to Al, and I showed him a section that that Roger and I had showed, and it was like a floor hockey tournament in Montreal. Do you remember what year that would have been?
2005.
2005. And I thought, like, I read out that you guys came in 4th place, but
You came in third.
Came in third. So Al corrected me, and then he asked me if I wanted to see some of his medals and some of his things, and I said certainly so. So here we are. Okay, so what do we got here, Al?
This is a medal that the prison guards and gave us a big trophy.
Yeah.
I think we won it 3 or 4 times now.
Oh yeah. What's this? What's the
floor hockey?
So floor hockey. Okay, maybe we can go back a little bit. Why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and what you're doing with a lot of your time here in Chatham with regards to what we're talking about here.
Okay. My name is
Big Al.
Big Al. Everybody knows me around here.
Mm-hmm.
I work up at the ball field in the summertime.
Yeah. What do you do at the ball field in the summertime?
Chase foul balls.
Okay. And you love it, right? You're a big Ironman fan.
Oh, I'm a big Ironman fan.
How many years have you been doing that for?
I don't know.
Many.
Many years.
Many years. Okay, and so you work up at the ball field, and then what else? What are you doing with your what's your number one passion, your number one hobby?
Sports.
Okay. Which brings us to, so tell us a little bit about your sporting career. You're a member
of Special Olympics.
Okay.
I joined in 93.
Okay.
And I've been in Special Olympics for 31 years.
Wow, 31 years, Al. That's something to be quite proud of, isn't it?
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit. So 31 years of Special Olympics. What are some of the sports that you play?
I bowl.
Yeah.
I play floor hockey.
Yeah.
We just started up a basketball team.
Okay.
Back in 2000.
Okay.
And I swim too.
And you're swimming. So what do you think that has brought you most of your success? Like what sport have you had the most success in?
I would say swimming.
Swimming, right? And now success doesn't always mean enjoyment. So which one do you enjoy doing the most?
Floor hockey.
Floor hockey's your number one passion, eh? Okay. And how many times do you guys is your floor hockey season still happening right now?
No.
No.
We're winding yet. We already wind down against the prison guards.
Okay, so the prison guards is kind of the championship.
Yeah, for the whole
Okay.
bragging rights.
So bragging rights, folks. Here it is. This is one of Al's medals. This is a recent, and it says Atlantic Challenge Cup Champions 2024. And Al, I was just downstairs. We were just talking. So Al, how many medals would you estimate that you have won over the years?
I think over 201.
Oh wow! So this is like you have over 200 medals, eh?
Yeah.
And where have the Special Olympics brought you? Like what places have you been to?
Surrey, BC.
Yeah. I live out in BC.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know where Surrey is.
The Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. What city were you guys in Saskatchewan? Was it Regina or Saskatoon? Maybe?
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon. What year was that?
2005.
2005.
And we came third in that year.
Okay, that's floor hockey?
Nope, soccer.
Oh, soccer. Third in soccer. And then you were also you were telling me you were in, for that floor hockey, was...
In Montreal.
In Montreal, and then you guys placed... I was corrected by Al. They placed third.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to show a few of your things, Al. So what does participating in all those sports over the years, like what does it really mean to you as a person?
It makes me a better person.
Yeah? How so?
And, well, it's... I have a lot of friends in different teams.
Mm-hmm.
We get along, we don't fight, we just... the only thing I don't like is when the competition's over and we gotta go back to our own places where we live.
Right.
But other than that, I wish it was like 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
More.
Right. But day to day in the Miramichi here in Chatham, how important is your sporting career on the Miramichi? Like how many nights are you out training and competing?
We have Sunday night we're at bowling.
Yeah.
Monday night normally would be floor hockey.
Okay.
Tuesday afternoons would be swimming.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturday mornings would be basketball.
Oh, wow. So you guys are quite busy. And, like, does everybody play? Are you probably the person that's playing the most sports? Or are there several of you guys?
Several of us guys.
Yeah, okay. You guys play everything. Okay, Al. Now, Al brought some ribbons. We have a third place finish at Special Olympics New Brunswick. We have another, there's a second place, and these are all from...
Swimming.
These are all swimming medals. What's your swimming event? Another second?
Yep.
What's your swimming event? Like, is it freestyle? Like...
Yeah, freestyle. That's like front crawl.
Yeah.
We do back crawl.
Okay.
Just last year, I came first in 50 meters.
Oh, wow.
And 200 meters.
Oh, wow.
That's 8 laps.
Oh, wow. What kind of a celebration do you give? Like, are you a kind of a humble celebrator, or are you like a in-your-face kind of celebrating guy?
Laid back.
Laid back?
I if the other team doesn't get a medal or anything, I wish you guys good luck.
Right. Yeah. So you're a good sport, but you play to win. You play to win,
yeah.
Of course. Okay, Al. Al brought a couple of things with us. I've known Al for many years. I met him up through the ball field at Ironman Park. My sister Vicky knows Al. Everybody knows you, man.
Yep.
You're an important part of the Miramichi here, and especially on the Chatham side. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So what are we gonna show here, Al? What is this? You can just talk about this.
this
Talk
is-
a little bit loud.
okay.
Maybe they can hear you.
This is for basketball
Yeah.
when we played against the high school girls,
Okay.
and it's a sign.
It's a sign and a poster that they made for the students. Made that for you up
Yeah.
there. Well, isn't that beautiful? Okay, that says "Let's go, Big Al."
Mhm.
Okay, Al, and then like I say, you want to talk about this one here. So
Yeah.
tell us about this one.
This is our sponsor,
Okay.
Giant Tiger,
Okay.
and they got one of these pictures of us
Yeah.
at their location. It's in Douglastown,
Right.
and they always help us out in fundraising,
Right.
and we always have a great time.
You always have a great time. I'm just trying to find you in this photo, right here. Al's back here, folks. Right there with his helmet up. Al is your position is,
Defense,
and sometimes you're a goaltender, aren't you?
no,
No,
not that year.
not that year, but sometimes. And there's Ivan,
Yeah.
and right on. And then we have, okay, Al, tell us about this photo right here.
That's against the prison guards.
And when was this taken?
Before COVID.
Before COVID, so this is a few years ago, and this is a beautiful photo. Look at the great competition here, folks. This is what it was, one of the Challenge Cups, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
This is Big Al and his boys, his squad against the prison guards. And where are you located in this photo? I don't see you. That's how humble Al is, folks. He doesn't even know where he is in the photo. Oh, you're right there. Oh, there he is, there, folks, right there. Al is an important part, and then one of the greatest. This has to be one of your proudest moments, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us about this and speak a little bit loud because they can hear you.
Okay. This is when we hosted the Winter Games here back in 2019.
Okay.
And Mrs. Mac's class and a professional photographer
Yes.
did up amazing pictures
Yeah.
for the Winter Games
Yes.
that we hosted here. And we had a qualifier to qualify to be in this Winter Games. And we came third, and we came in third in the actual event in the Winter Games.
Mm-hmm. But Al, like, to have your picture and you be chosen as the guy that was the face of this event, that must have been a really proud moment for you.
Oh, yes.
So tell us a few stories about what happened afterwards, like what.
Well, Creative Grounds had Adam Hayward had some of these posters
Yeah.
that were going around, like, posted up.
Mm-hmm.
And one was here at the Creative Grounds.
Okay.
And one day I came in to get a coffee, and all of a sudden a customer said, "Why don't you autograph one of those?"
Oh wow. So
And-
you got to autograph it.
Yes. And then I was up at a ball game, and somebody asked for an autograph, which that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Caught me off guard.
Well, that's an amazing thing, Al. And like I say, as a member of, like as a former, like I'm a Miramichi, I have Miramichi roots. I've been living in Vancouver. I've been here for the 4 or 5 months. I just want to say how important of a person you are in our community. You're very positive. Everybody knows you. Easy to speak to. A good sense of humor, and you're participating in the community via the Special Olympics, and it's an important thing, right?
Right.
So it's thanks for having a little talk with us and explaining some things further. So what does your near future look like with the sports? What's coming up on the horizon for you guys?
Well, we have a bowling tournament
Mm-hmm.
coming up in end of April here. It's in Fredericton.
Okay.
That's going to be the big test right there for us.
Oh yeah, why?
Because last year at the winter games that we had in Fredericton, I came in third in that,
Okay.
and I brought home a bronze medal.
Right.
This year, I hope I get gold.
Of course.
And I hope most of our team, all 16 that went last year, I hope all 16 this year goes and gets medals.
Of course.
Because last year, 8 of us came back, and we were not bad in the medal count.
Right.
But I wish we had all 16 of us
Right.
to get medals.
Yeah, I know, but
But
hey,
I know.
come on, we're playing sports here.
Yeah.
The other squads are showing up to win too, right?
Yeah, but they were showboating sometimes.
Oh. So so your style is you like to go there, you like to keep it humble, and
Yeah.
you like to let your athleticism and your play on the court or the field or the lanes do the talking,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Okay, any other final messages, Al? We got a 15 minutes here, and that's what I was kind of planning for.
I want to give a shout out to Patty Quinn
Okay,
and the rest of my Special Olympic team,
okay,
and also Lillian
okay.
Moore.
Lillian was just downstairs asking for another mention on Mirami-histor-chi, so we just gave it to her.
Yeah,
Okay, Al, thanks a lot, man.
no problem.
Okay, we'll talk to you. We'll see you around town. Anybody that sees Al around town, don't be shy. He's one of the best guys around and very friendly. You always like meeting new people, eh?
Yeah,
Okay, take it easy. How many coffees are you having a day now?
sometimes 3.
Okay, 3, that's not too bad. That's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks once again, and we'll catch you guys for some more interviews coming up. Have a good day.
I'm hearing on people diving.
Oh, it was heard on knees. It was heard on everything. We're just talking AstroTurf and how that ruined the baseball ambience there in the 70s and 80s for a while. Okay, thank you, Al Sutherland. That was great having a chit-chat with you. Raj, Al's been a vital member of the Chatham Miramichi Society for many years, eh?
Sure was.
Everybody loves him, and I thank you for that. So we just tried to show a little Miramichi and what they're doing. Al's been all across Canada.
Yeah.
BC, Saskatchewan, competing, and he loves sports. He's a positive guy, and thank you for that. Okay, so we're 1986. I think we're at episode number 27. Vanset, E-Ship Chill, I think that's Korean. Don't know my others. And then we're, 1986, Raj, part 2. So
Yeah.
here we are.
Okay, we're going to start off with the season that we are in there now, the activity on the river. So when we have ice, we need this machine.
Yes, we do. Mind you, it should be the season, but our water broke really early this year. This is from January 31, 1986. Ladies and gentlemen, the classic Miramichi scene for many years, the icebreaker. What is the icebreaker situation these past few years? I haven't been around for like 17 years.
Hasn't been used.
Hasn't been used, okay. So this says the icebreaker CCGS Tupper cleared the ice on Saturday to allow a ship to leave the wharf at Newcastle. Icebreakers, especially the Tupper, make frequent visits to the Miramichi during the winter, keeping the river channel clear for ships. And right on, very cool. I remember as a kid watching those things out there.
Now, this is the prestigious name of that boat. From
Okay, and here's another ship. This is from September 24th, 1986. The local historian Roger Cummo has documented decades and decades of local history via mainly newspaper clippings. We're showing a recent history here on the Miramichi Raj, many people are commenting on your collection and they're appreciating what we're doing here. We're just having fun. We're not proclaiming to be experts. We're doing a nephew-uncle intergenerational community building project together as I am home following the death of my father, or during the death of my father and stuff like that, and Roger's brother and Ronnie. And it's been a profound experience for me to do this project with you, Raj. And I'm actually looking at your depth as well as the Miramichi's history and just how many interests you do have and what you have appreciated. So we're showing it here, Raj. And this has been really good. So here is a ship right here. This is from Hong Kong. It was called the Prestigious of Hong Kong paid a visit to the Newcastle port facility last week. The boat was taking on paper from the repap mill at Nelson Miramichi. And you know, like many other things, people drive by things they don't even recognize. Like I'm one of those people, your eyes are set straight, you're worrying about paying the bills. But Raj, you always had the ability to kind of notice what was going on around you, and you're a guy that would have stopped your car and got out and looked at that ship. So good for you.
This is interesting here. I got my date there again.
Okay, Roger, again, see that date right there? He cuts them out, tapes them on, lets himself know. This looks like the Beaverbrook House, or is it the Logie?
That's
Herkins.
The Black Horse Hotel.
Oh, okay. Okay, so this is from September 1986. This is a great photo. This looks like, you know, these things just don't seem to be happening anymore in local communities where you got a politician standing, people are gathering. What was happening on September 24th, 1986? Students from Harkins Elementary School listened to Newcastle Mayor John Mackay at the Newcastle Town Hall as he congratulates them on raising $1,200 for their Terry Fox March on Friday. And if you look closely, those students right there, not one of them is scrolling down on TikTok. They're actually probably listening.
Same chapter.
Oh, same chapter, some more Terry Fox stuff. This is from September 86. This is very recent after Terry Fox actually did his run, where I think he had a stop in, was it Windsor? Where his cancer started taking over. The core of the Terry Fox runners in Chatham as they head up Water Street. This Terry Fox run started at CFB Chatham with 209 runners participating. And right on, the Terry Fox run, a tradition, it has spread to all around the world, and millions of dollars have been raised for cancer research.
Okay. So before we go to sports, we'll deal with these volunteers, I would say.
Okay, we got some more volunteering, and that's another theme that I've been noticing with Raj.
Fall fair.
Yeah, okay, so this is from September 1986 again, and St. Michael's Fall Fair and Supper Planning Committee, okay? So there's a photo. I'll show you the photos. I get these things blind. I don't know exactly what is going to be said. And here's another photo. Community members coming together. Pictured from left to right at the St. Michael's Fall Fair and Supper Planning Committee, David Lavoie, or Lavoie, it's pronounced both ways sometimes. John McLaughlin was the president of the St. Michael's Parish Council, Margaret Walls, and Betty Woods. We have Marcia Bowes, right on. Rose Spray, Anita King, Percy King, Sandy Breen, and Frank O'Donnell. Well, there's Marcia Bowes right there. She was Murphy before. I was friends with her daughter through some high school years, and Marcia was at my dad's funeral service and reception, and we've always had a good relationship, and it was great to see her. Okay, the photo below, it says the St. Michael's Fall Fair committees are busy preparing for the event on September 20th, 21st in Chatham. Organizing some items for the giant yard sale are Mary Dunn, Helen Richard, Karen Traer, Gina Whitty, and Clara Gallant. Over 2,000 articles have been received for the sale. Community members doing some good things. I'm sorry I don't know any anecdotes about the people that are in this picture, but hope that everybody is doing well to this day.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Raj. Oh.
Okay, we got Ryan Richards' story on this winning team.
Okay. As everybody that has been watching knows, Roger and I are Logievillers. Roger was, this is where he spent all of his 76 years. I've been in Vancouver for 17, Korea for 3. But Logieville has a rich tradition of fast pitch softball, which I happen to still be playing out in Vancouver. Roger was one of my great inspirations for that sport as a pitcher. He taught me one of my change-ups, actually. Logieville Williston Homes win Miramichi softball crown. This is from 1986. Who was on the Williston Homes squad in 1986? Look at that group of fine young Logievillers. Okay. On that team, they won the Miramichi Intermediate Softball League. We have John Knowles as the trainer. Paul Robisha, very speedy infielder type of guy. Jamie Watling, hockey softball, mainly an outfielder, center field to be exact. Troy Ross, Donnie's son, a pitcher. Lauren Kingston, mainly outfield kind of outfielder. Garth McDougall, the late Garth McDougall, he was a pitcher. David Robishaw, arguably Logieville's greatest shortstop. Larry McDonald, arguably Logieville's greatest catcher, a left-handed pull hitter. Frankie Weeks was a coach, and Donnie Ross was a manager. In the front, we had Chris Kingston as the bat boy. Ricky McDonald played that year. Chris Ross, another speedy man. Mark Williston. Jimmy Kelly, a pitcher that pitched many innings here in Logieville and, threw hard and was a tenacious competitor. Blair LeBritton, Walter Shirley, and Kenny Blackier as another bat boy. Missing were Stan Drillin and Frank Williston as the sponsor. There's Kenny Blackier right there, folks. Kenny, I had a coffee with Kenny recently. Kenny is a great Logieviller. Everybody knows and loves him. And Kenny's son, Jansen Raj, is doing interesting things. He's into acting. He plays a fiddle. Yeah. He's studying marine biology. And he's worked at the salmon, what's it called up in Dopetown? Or the salmon, reef. I can't think of the word. But right on, Kenny.
Yeah, okay, this is over in Nordine.
Over in Nordine, what do we got being constructed here? Well, here's the photo. Roger Como loves his sports, loves his building, loves his designing, loves his community building, volunteering, all of that stuff, and is recognizing this. Many volunteer workers were on hand for the building of the new Kingdom Hall in Nordine, and I'm ignorant to what the new Kingdom Hall even is, Raj.
Oh, we have another, this is the same chapter.
Okay. It was completed right on schedule. It says building a church, and it was a church, okay?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so, it says.
Okay.
There's a worker on that new Kingdom Hall. Oh, I think I know where it is. It's on the south side of the road over there. Yeah. So about 1,050 people gathered in Nordine on the weekend to help build a new church called a Kingdom Hall for the local Jehovah Witnesses. And the building was completed according to schedule, says local elder Robert Lisk. Right on. So there it was. It was that Jehovah's Witness church over there. I wonder how that goes. I have no idea. I've never been inside that building.
Well, we spoke about racetracks with the horses. This is 4 wheels.
4-wheelers at the Miramichi Raceway. Williston wins track crown. There's a Frankie Williston and a Joe Rashore. And this is from 1986, September 10th. And Joe Rashore, left, sales representative with Moosehead Breweries, presents Frank Williston with the Alpine Point Fun Award as Miramichi Raceway track champion on Sunday. Williston won the prestigious award with 165 points for the season. And car racing, so we had in that top 10, Frankie Williston won, Jerry Green, Paul Dunn, Paul Wormel, Pat Reagan, Terry Russell, Wayne Wormel, Mark Kammermans, Brad Mann, and Kim Hallahan. Right on. And the Pepsi Cola point leaders, John Underhill, John Ursino, Ted Kelly, Bernie Thibodeau, Ed Hay, Al Dixon, Dean McDonald, Paul Burns, Bernie Hay, and Garth Creamer. Raj, it takes all kinds. We were never into car racing really as a family. I've never even gone over and checked it out. Great photo. We showed a picture of Joe Richor the other day receiving something. But what I noticed, Raj, is that Joe Richor, I don't know him or didn't know of him, but I will tell you that he was a sharp dresser based on 2 photographs that I've seen.
That's horseshoe, but we're dealing with that.
Okay. Club has expanded. This looks like the Miramichi Golf and Country Club building right there, folks. Wouldn't you love to be in the summertime sitting out on that deck, following around, having a nice cold beverage, eating a clubhouse sandwich with a salad, not the fries. The Miramichi Golf and Country Club in Bushville has a new exterior look this year after workmen finished with an extension to the building and renovations last fall. This is from June 6, 1986. That's when the renos happened at the old Miramichi Golf and Country Club. And you wait until we show Roger Como's 9-hole designed pitch and putt course that he built. He was the designer, the engineer. His brothers were his assistants, and he built it in his backyard in his early 20s. And his clubhouse was called the Cabin. And we'll talk about the Cabin maybe in the future episodes too.
Well, the season's busy with this stuff going on.
Okay, the Bonspiel, right on. I was just over there watching Gushu play Norway. So Bonspiel winners, there they are right there, folks. Nothing like a good old day at the old curling rink, which I mentioned. I want to get into this curling. Joe Richor again, and also looking very sharply dressed, I must say. Moosehead Breweries presents Section A winners of the Miramichi James Reddy Mixed Bonspiel to the Joe Hawks rink of Gene Knowles, Stan Knowles, and Claire Hawks. Well, right on. Stan Knowles, I think he was in the pharmacy business. I knew his daughter through university. Okay, what do you got?
There's a car crash, but I don't have the year. Even though it was shown in 86, it might have been 86. That's Arsenal, by the way.
Joe Ursino? Okay. This is from the Miramichi Leader, October 15th, 1986. And look at this photo. How just, this was right on in the newspaper of a car crash right there. And look at, we got a fireman, we have people looking, actually everybody's looking at the camera for what happened. So it was rescue workers had to be called Monday night to remove a man from a car in Chatham following what has believed to have been a chase. Wow. And police have not released any information. So in the photo, I think Raj got Fred Petrie,
Right here, Freddie, yeah.
Joe Arsenault, Mike McGrath.
Yeah, it's a different McGrath.
Oh, okay. Frank Lampke, Billy Harris, and Kelly Wash.
Frank Lampke here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And Billy Harris here.
Oh, yeah.
Those are prominent people.
Okay.
And the
Wow.
fireman, who's the fireman there? The state fireman? Down here, I think
Frank
Wayne Wilson's accident
Okay, so Wayne Wilson,
was his accident.
and he stole the car. Wow. So this was a stolen car, a chase, but just look at how times are different. This is in the newspaper. Everybody that was on the scene, that looks like, that's quite a photo. That's a very interesting looking photo, folks.
Yep. Okay.
Just seems like those things wouldn't happen in today's landscape. Oh, there it is. Okay, folks. This is from 1986. I love when you pass me this stuff over. This is kind of fun, Raj. Like, I'm getting it blindly. I hope that this is written by Kathy Carnahan, and you're okay with me doing all this blabbing, eh? This is how we're doing it? Okay.
99% like.
Okay. These are 2 of Buddy's authentically carved ducks. Okay, so this is about Buddy Savoy completes his showcase of duck decoys. Okay, that's the headline. That's Roger's neighbor right there. His name was Bryant. We call him Buddy Savoy. And there's a photo of his work, okay? Now, Buddy, we'll give a little bit of anybody that doesn't know of Buddy. Now, that's Dr. Ozcan, actually, with Buddy Savoy. Buddy worked at the hospital. There's Dr. Ozcan. I think Dr. Ozcan delivered me. Does that sound right? I think so. I think he was Turkish, was he not? These are two of Buddy's authentically carved ducks. And Brian Savoy, Buddy Savoy has completed his showcase of duck decoys, and he plans to put them on display. But right now, he's too busy filling orders for others, he said. The Miramichi Leader did a story on the Logieville artist in September 18th edition last year. And here's the thing. Roger and I have both been fortunate enough, as he's Roger's neighbor, to have entered Buddy's home and to see his work. The decoys are those are two of things that he's done. And it's not in color, and that, believe me, that photo does not show the detail. He is an incredible artist / craftsman, is he not, Raj? It's
can't say enough about it.
Can't say enough. It's world class, and the amount of work and what he has done over his, he's in his 80s now. I went over. His workshop is incredible. His work is incredible. He's sold decoys all over the world, and it's just an example of somebody that was doing something in his own home on his spare time after a full-time job. It is absolute world class. We can't say enough about it. And we could go on and on. Buddy doesn't really like all that sort of accolade, so I'll shut her up right there.
I think it's the first time we talked about volleyball.
Okay, we got some volleyball going on, folks. The Newcastle Midget Blues, qualify for Eastern Volleyball Competition, and there's an action photo of that squad. But that's a great team photo on a set of stairs. This is a Newcastle group of gals. Volleyball. Tell you what, if you haven't watched volleyball at a high level, and the next time Olympics come around, watch it. It is they're unbelievable. Okay, so who was in that photo? These are the Newcastle Midget Blues. They won the right to advance to the Eastern Canadian Championships in St. John by defeating Bathurst in the finals at Miramichi Valley High School. In this photo, we have Jane O'Neill, Karen Matheson, Barbara Leslie, Toby Tarr, Bev Bowes. I just saw Bev the other day. She's the mother of Max Jardine, and Max is a fine young gentleman, and I think she has 2 daughters as well. Tanya Innes, Deborah Obi, Mindy Geeky, Tracy Cummo, she was the manager, and Jim Graham, he was the coach. Front row, we have Shelley Burge, Ann O'Neill, and Tammy Price. And I'm just trying to locate Bev. Which number was she mentioned there? She was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Doesn't exactly look like her. Doesn't exactly line up. Sorry, Bev, can't locate you there, but great deal, the volleyball. And you know what, Raj? We've spoken over the months that I've been home about chiropractors.
Oh, yeah.
And you speak very highly of your guy. Who's he again?
Dr. Kenny in Rexton.
Dr. Kenny in Rexton. So if anybody's looking for, and he's a good guy to talk to. He looks at your body the whole way. He doesn't overdo it. You speak highly of him, eh?
Oh, yeah.
He's helped you many times. Well, the reason I mention it,
Yep.
because the woman that I go to see in Vancouver, her name is Marina Liarski, and she was a volleyball player. She competed for Israel on the world level.
Mhm.
She was on the Israeli national team. And she knows her stuff well, but that's just my volleyball snippet. It's a really cool sport.
That's a nap and visit there, and this here is something to do with...
Okay. Grandparents' Day. I just thought of the story I'm going to say here. Okay, so Grandparents' Day may be held yearly. This is really, really excellent. This is the organizers of the Grandparents' Day in Chatham Saturday say they hope to make an event an annual one. And, there's nothing better, Raj, than, that whole connection, the grandparents. And here's some photos of a Grandparents' Day in 1986. I will do my best at reading these out. Roger Cummo cut this out, folks. Roger was 39 years of age at the time he was cutting this stuff out, with his own work, his own family, etc., and doing all these things. I don't know how you got the time, Raj. Okay, so we got Bucket Walsh. Nothing. You know what? That's when you know you got a community. When you got somebody that you call Bucket. Okay. Chairman of the Miramichi, J.C. Bingo in Chatham looks over the card. Marina Murdoch, 86, napping in her daughter, Kathy Murphy, during the Grandparents' Day. Oh, Kathy Murphy. And then we have, it just says, there's no names there. Big Brothers, Big Sisters sold corn dogs. Raymond Dixon of Nappin provides the wagon ride. And no, there's no names, but that was a Grandparents' Day. So what I was going to say is that like the grandparents, they used to, like, my nephew and niece went to St. Andrews, or he went to St. Andrews as a kid,
Yeah.
and Dad was up there, my father, before he passed, obviously, went up there. It was some grandfather day or grandparents' day, and they go up with the kids and do some helping.
Yeah.
So Dad was in the cafeteria waiting for, Luke to come out of the classroom, right, and just waiting for him. So Dad just watched. He laid back and just watched him walk around to see if he could locate him. So Luke just walks into the cafeteria with his lunch, just threw it in the garbage. So that's always a story that Dad mentioned and laughed about. And here's something on the back of that. Remember the old Urban Corral, folks? That was down by the liquor store in Chatham. And what does that ad say? The Jazz and Blues Band, Skip and Kathy with Mark and Reg. Skip Beckwith and Kathy Shaw, folks, at the old Urban Corral. I've never stepped foot in there, but I think Stompin' Tom was there one time, Raj, at the old Urban Corral.
We're only going to show one page of the prison here.
Okay, so Prison in Renews Update 1986. This is from January 31st, 1986. And here's a Prison in Renews. This is a maximum security prison. This is an update. I don't know if it was under construction yet, and this is just before. I'll read some captions. I don't know my dates. But interestingly enough, I am reading another David Adams Richards novel at the moment. It is called Road to the Stilt House. It was written in 1985, and guess what keeps on getting mentioned? The prison. We're going to work there when it's open. We're going to work there. That's what they keep saying, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, the building is temporary and holds the prison staff at the Atlantic Institution, and these are all from Brian Richard. Brian Richard took the photos here. A row of cells on the top floor. The fence is being installed around the exterior of the prison. The tower is located at the back of the grounds. Inmate cell looking in, bed on left with desk and locker on right. That's what an inmate cell looked like at the Renews prison right there, folks. And the Logieville ball team in the early 90s went to the prison to play a couple of games.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't a part of that.
We talked about this before,
Yeah.
but this project was supposed to be finished by 1990.
Mm-hmm.
So just deal with that. And then
Okay.
kind of an update on the
And it's
bypass.
2024,
Now,
and
now,
it still hasn't.
34 years later.
34, yeah. It's just for some reason there's there's some resistance. I'm not going to pretend I'm educated on this is the northern bypass. Even if you drive through the Miramichi at this time, you still see signs on people's lawn that say Northern Bypass Now. Okay, section of Bathurst Highway to be bypassed. And this was an article by Danny Mazarol. As phase 1 of a 3-phase bypass, the section of the Bathurst Highway, route number 8, from approximately the O'Keefe Road to the Carroll Road will be bypassed, probably by 1990. Well, that probably did not happen. There's still a push and shove going on about that. We shall see what the future will hold. It would be interesting to, and here's something interesting. This is from 1986. This is on the back of that, and look at there, Margaret Atwood's book. There's a write-up on a Margaret Atwood book, The Handmaid's Tale. And that was from 1986. The Miramichi Leader covered that. And the reason I mention it, because Margaret Atwood is one of our great Canadian writers. And The Handmaid's Tale was made into television series, I think.
Yeah.
And it's very Margaret Atwood's amazing. Actually, I read one of her novels, Raj, when I was in Japan a few years ago. It was my first ever Atwood read.
Okay, I even clipped out some permits to for people to either construct a home or a shed or a fence, and these are people that I know.
Okay, so these are permits from 1986. This is in a local newspaper. I was actually watching a YouTube channel the other day, and the guy he's called Otis Gibbs, and he's down in Nashville, and he's a beautiful man, and he interviews all musicians, and he tells stories of like folk music, and he was, you know what he did, you know what he was doing, Raj? It's very similar to what we're doing. One of his episodes is when Hank Williams would have been 100 years old or something like that. He did some research. He went into some local archives to find out about Hank Williams' death and stuff, and all these people, like Hank lived in Alabama, and all these people wrote about it, and then the newspapers published it. And what he was doing, he was reading people's names, and after their name, they would give their full address. And that just would not happen in today's. Same with this. Like, who would want their permits, you know, public? And here it is. So Roger Como, at 39 years of age in 1986, was down in his basement cutting out newspaper clippings. Raj, once again, the amount of time and consistency that you put onto this stuff is really amazing. And we're actually sitting here documenting it and showing people what you've been doing. And we thank you. Okay, so Danny R. Mountain, what did he do? Brent Daly got a permit out. Reg McKinley, he was looking for a double car garage. Freddie LaBelle at Nelson Miramichi up towards the Route 118, like going into Chelmsford or whatever. He wanted to add to his dwelling. Margaret McLeod, that is Roger's old neighbor over here. What was she looking to do? Double car garage. Blair White, of what they were looking to demo and erect something. Ernest Robichaud, Bay St. Anne.
Yeah, that's right. It could be Arthur Robichaud's daughter, Shirley.
Okay.
Her husband is named that, but that might be a different.
Okay, they were in Hardwick. They were looking for a mobile home. Alvin Young, that's Roger's old neighbor. Alvin Young was a World War II veteran. His house is occupied now by a young woman that went to NBCC here, Hunter, and she's very talented in the kitchen at baking and stuff like that. But Alvin Young, Raj, wasn't he just a great guy?
Oh, I guess he was.
And you taught me a lot about helping neighbors through Alvin Young, because you were always over there doing some things for him and Marjorie. They were older. And Alvin used to tell me World War II stories. You were the guy that we were showing interest. We were like, what, he was in the war? He was in the war? We were all scared. Yeah. And you brought us over and for him to share some stories.
Yeah.
Okay, Kenny McIntosh, double car garage. Fred Gallen, he's another Logieviller. What was he looking for? It's hard to... Yerxa Summers, I think he's the dad of Cynthia. James Lawler was pulling out a permit. This is all...
He'd be the singer.
Oh yeah, the singer.
Jimmy Lawler. Yeah.
Jimmy Lawler, okay. Parish of Southwest, single dwelling. And Stephen Ross was looking for a utility shed. Now imagine if we were living in certain places in, you know, like I always thought about this. I'm a guy that likes just building things without permits. I like to do things creatively with some shapes. And imagine if you're just living in a place and you can just go out and build a deck on your house and nobody even asks a question. I kind of wish that we were in there. But yeah, permits. Wow.
Okay, just a different list here. Miramichi exhibition prizes there.
Okay.
Or just a handful of people there, like class 1, class 6.
Was this for agriculture?
White horse, yeah. That's
okay.
Just dairy breeds for the Schenkel family upriver there.
Oh wow, 1986 prize list from the Miramichi exhibition. Roger Como, this is what he was doing, folks. He's going through this, highlighting people of interest to him. Amazing stuff, Raj. Jane Schenkels.
Yeah, in the first class.
Class 1 dairy breeds.
Yeah.
Junior calf.
Class 6.
Oh, and class 6 senior showmanship, first place, Jane Schenkels.
He's a people.
Okay.
That one there.
And that's Class 1. I don't know. I'm very ignorant to the agricultural world. Light Horse Junior Western Equitation.
Now we're
Julie Gillis was 3rd place.
Yep,
And
yeah.
Shelley Logie, 9th place. Young Shelley Logie in 1986. She would have been 12 years old, perhaps, or 13 or something like that.
And then Julie was in the first class race for
Okay.
pleasure.
Class 7 Junior Western Pleasure, Julie Gillis. And she also won a Class 9 for Junior Showmanship, Julie Gillis. And Shelley Logie was, Julie was 1st and Shelley was 2nd.
Yeah.
And then Class 10, 1st place, Jeff Gillis. So thank you. I see some Thompsons up here from that Thompson family, as we previously mentioned, with the miniature petting farm.
Yeah.
And right on, Raj. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, Shelley Logie. They're Logievillers. They grew up. They always had a farm up there. Ruth, their mother, formerly a Walsh. Easiest people to get along with and talk to. Friendly, funny, great senses of humor,
Yeah.
and always had animals, and it just shows in their character.
So Lena's good friend Matheson.
Oh, yes.
That's her dad there.
Oh, right on. Okay, so my sister Lana grew up with a girl named Tanya Matheson. I knew Colin, her brother, this guy's son, and Jennifer was their 3rd child. They live up in Chatham Head. This is from October 3rd, 1986, and this was George Matheson. I think he was in a car accident that hit a moose that put him in a wheelchair for, he's the late George Matheson now, but he got to meet Rick Hansen, folks. And wow, Rick Hansen went around the world, I think it was.
Oh my.
He's from BC. I see him out in Vancouver from time to time, Raj.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rick Hansen. I also see, you know who else I see out there is David Suzuki.
Oh yeah.
And
oh,
I'll tell you what, if you ever see David Suzuki, I love David Suzuki. I love the nature things. He's not into chatting with everybody, so just leave him alone.
Yeah.
George Matheson presents a hat to Rick Hansen. Oh, well. George Matheson, Newcastle resident George Matheson, a quadriplegic, was able to chat with wheelchair athlete Rick Hansen for about 5 minutes in Moncton Tuesday. We had about 5 minutes to talk at one of his rest stops on the Barry Mills Road near Moncton, Matheson said at an interview Wednesday. So right on, Raj, there's George Matheson. I was at that home before, great family, and Tanya was at my dad's funeral. So there's George right here, and there's Rick Hansen. Rick Hansen was a top athlete in whatever those games, is it, I forget what the games are called, but he's won many medals.
Oh yeah, we're on the wheelchair.
Marathons and stuff. He went around the world. And you know, the woman that was hired to help him, he ended up marrying her.
Oh,
I think she
my.
was a doctor or a physiotherapist or something like that. But Rick Hansen,
Yeah.
that's what grit and determination is. And there was a great program I just watched a few months ago on Canadian television about him. As like a 2-hour. He went back. Rick Hansen just went back to the place where the car accident happened that put him in that condition. First time since.
Okay.
Very emotional for
Now
him.
this continuation of the prize list. which
Okay.
We won't mention it just to show all the details.
Okay.
But we'll focus on
Oh, yeah,
a lady
right on.
that performed here in the Miramichi quite a few times.
Right, so that from that Miramichi agricultural prize list continued, Roger highlighted more names, but in the corner, folks, there's another Urban Corral, the old Urban Corral down by the liquor store in Chatham, the old Save-Easy, Ed Subs, Jean Coutu, and on Wednesday, September 3rd, our 4th, 5th, and 6th, sorry, it was Joan Kennedy and Country Clover. And she was there performing some of her songs. Joan Kennedy, I wonder who was in attendance there. And I'm assuming that everybody had a great time, folks. Right on.
Yeah.
This is a cool story right here. Look at this. Right on the back of that, it says, Taintville boys build a soccer field. So look at that group right there, folks. Taintville, it's in between Logieville and Chatham. Taint Chatham, Taint Logieville. Well, let's just call her Taintville. And you know what? Unfortunately, I don't think that Taintville ever had like an official sign.
Oh no.
It should have.
No.
So who was in this? We had, they built a soccer field. And where did they build that? It was, They found a piece of ground flat enough to serve the purpose. The plot was owned by Bob Blay. Oh yeah, I know where that is, that field. They cut her down, everybody helped out, and the Keir McGarrigle, Peter Owen, he's the brother of Chris, great athletes. They were Norwegian, or their father was Norwegian. Marty McNamara, he played hockey as well. Jeff Swain, Stephen Dunfield, Paul Dunfield, Kevin Swain, Jimmy Hanna, Joey Bailey, and Chris Jones. They made it themselves. So folks, that's 1986. That's what kids were doing. How many phones do you got? How many TikTok swipes happened right there? The answer to that is none. The kids went out, they got together, they wanted to build their own soccer field, and they did. I'm sitting next to a man right here that not only built his own golf course, he built his own ball field as well in his backyard, hockey rinks, and horseshoe pits, cabin, you name it. Times were different. Wouldn't it be beautiful to go? And that's the kind of work that I'm interested in, Raj, in Vancouver a lot, is going back to some roots, building things, and getting out of this uber speedy society that we don't even know how to handle right now.
Yeah. 2 chapters there.
Huz Hay. He had a zest for life.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the former host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek, okay? Even though it looks like him, this guy's name was Huz Hay. He had a zest for life, and I don't know what this is about. Roger cut this out. There's nothing better than running into a positive thinker. And I need to work on that myself, but these people that just take what comes to them, they think positive. So who was Robert Huz Hay, Raj? Robert Huz Hay was a Royal Canadian Air Force. He was in the Second World War. He, this is written by Dave Butler. I have never met a man with more zest for life, more joie de vivre than Chatham native Robert Huz Hay, who following a lengthy illness died Monday at the young age of 63. Huz, as everyone called him, and as he called himself in a column that he wrote for several years for the Miramichi Leader, had been ill for 10 years. And so this, you know what, this would be a beautiful thing, Raj. I might keep this out and read this on my own. It's a long article,
Yeah.
but and then once again, you got a true community when you got a guy named Bucket and Huz, and there he is, folks, the Alex Trebek doppelganger, Huz Hay. And on the back, I think we'll maybe skip something like that. Yeah. Okay. I want to read that. See who Huz Hay was.
No.
So we're at 40 minutes. The song will be about 3 minutes, so that's 43. The interview with Big Al is 15, so that puts us up to close to an hour. Our little interlude. We got, I don't know, another 10 minutes. Is 1986 going to be 2 parts or 3?
Well, Ryan Richards found a way to get into the exhibition free.
Okay, folks.
Zoom in on that.
Okay.
And we have a local kid here in this here article.
Okay, so once again, Raj says, how do you get into the exhibition for free? Well, you take the photos. And you know what? I was talking to a guy. I don't do Facebook. It's just something I didn't do. But apparently Brian does have a Facebook page for anybody that's interested, and he's showing photos, and apparently it's really amazing, and he's sharing some past through his work. So try to check that out, folks. So this is from the 1986 exhibition, and I will, okay, so that photo on the fiddle was Alphonse Doucet of Charlot. Okay, not the Alphonse Doucet of the, and he's fiddling. And I'll just show some photos here, read some captions. That looks like a merry-go-round right there. We have something with the agricultural. I'll save that photo because we know that young woman. That's coming down the big slide. I remember that as a kid. That's probably at the bottom of that slide. Don't know, what is that? Oh, some more, okay, it's hard for me to see. That's some horse stuff. And then this beautiful photo. That is just a classic photo. That photo is Beverly Sullivan. She used to live in Logieville. I don't know where she is right now. I remember that family, but look at how beautiful that photo is. A little child with their goat. She's hugging it. The face says it all. And I tell you what, for those of you that have never looked into a goat's eyes, if you were ever in, just remember this, if you're ever in the company of a goat, look into their eyes. Their pupils are rectangle, and I think they go up and down, or maybe across, but it's a really interesting thing. So who was this? Many Children, that was Bill Lynch sliding, or sorry, no, Bill Lynch is the name of the show.
Oh, no.
I don't think we had, Hazen Mayers was the provincial minister in that photo. And we don't have names of children. These are just great photos from it. And thank you for those photos. There's Beverly Sullivan with her goat. I remember that photo. It was a beautiful photo. Thanks for sharing, Raj.
This article is front and back.
Yep.
Talking about his retirement, that's the former Newcastle Railway.
Okay.
That's last year.
Oh, okay. Cool. So Woods retires after 45 CN years. Look at this, folks. There is a Miramichi being acknowledged for his service to his career, a 45-year career, having retirement. And there's a great photo of the old Newcastle railway station. Where was that? Was that same where the
Oh yeah, in that area.
And it was just an older, yeah. There's something cool about railway stations. Danny Woods was honored in his retirement from CN, not CNN, after 45 years of service. CN representatives were present from the Newcastle and Moncton areas to present Woods with tokens. So right on, and a good old train station. There's something really cool about that. I was fortunate enough to, my wife from Japan, so when I do go to Japan, they have a train culture. That's how people travel around, even 20-minute rides, and it's like country settings, and the whole train culture lives there as it does in Europe. And on the back of that, we have softball championship to be held. And there's young Troy Ross in 1986. He was a local pitcher for many years, and a good one at that. Richard Butler, coach of the Nelson Miramichi Repap Midgets, discusses with Troy Ross the Canadian Softball Championship to be held at the newly renovated Gerald King Memorial Ball Field. In preparation for the games, the Nelson Miramichi Softball Association has installed a new 8-foot home run fence and is now erecting a new building for change rooms. And we've both played many games. I lost a no-hitter at that field, Raj, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. And not only did I lose the no-hitter, and this was again, I was playing with Roger's team when I was a kid. The young team that I was pitching against, they were my team that I, also played with in tournaments and stuff. And I was down to 2 outs, and I lost my no-hitter and the shutout via the home run. So that sucked. That would have been my only full no-hitter. Mind you, I did walk about 5 or 6 guys.
Your grandparents
Yes.
spent time on this place here.
Yes.
And that's the former Joan Manderson
Okay.
from Logieville.
Okay.
So no names here.
Okay. And, it's very important. Like, these are things that many of us take for granted. Young people for sure do. But, the Tabasantac Nigawak area obtains long-awaited 30-bed nursing home. My brother-in-law, Corey, the sponsor for the show, his mother worked there, and my grandparents on my mother's side, her parents were in this home. And it's very important to have proper places to take care of people that need that. And Joan Searle of Chatham is Director of Nursing for the 30-bed Tabasantac Nursing Home, which opened last week. The brick facility is located on the Mance Road in Tabasantac, and there she is, Joan Searle. Who else, Raj? Donald Monroe of Tabasantac is the maintenance man at the new Tabasantac Nursing Home. That's him right
And
there.
The back page.
In the back pages. So Severin Savoy of Nigawak enjoys a relaxing moment in the Tabasantak nursing home. He's the home's first resident right there, folks. That was the first resident. That kind of looks like a, Woodrow Wilson or something like that, sitting down. And then again, at the Urban Corral presents Joey Knight opening for the one and only Boxcar Willie. One night only, Tuesday, June 3rd, in 1986, at the Urban Corral in Chatham, New Brunswick. And there he is, folks, Boxcar Willie. And Raj, you know what? Speaking of that Tabasantak nursing home, and speaking of Corey, my brother-in-law's parents, we have our sponsor once again, Corey Wishworth at Wishworks. Wishworks at the Core Store. This is one of his newest creations. This was made for my mother, his mother-in-law, for her birthday. And this is a bowl made out of maple. Corey, this is Corey's work right here, folks. He just goes in there, Roger. And it's
all done with
a
chop saw.
And it's a chop saw, yeah. But he just goes into that shop.
Even inside.
Yeah, but he goes into that shop, and day after day, and he's just producing unbelievable woodworks, leather, metal works. But this piece right here is done with a chop saw. So that hole right there, he's able to put that on and just move it around. The chop saw comes down. He has it all designed out where he's just like sands that all out, and it's just a beautiful. It's a beautiful bowl, glistened very nice. So if you're looking for a special gift, and Roger knows the value of craftsmanship by the hand, I do as well. Corey's a local craftsman. He is the easiest guy in the world to deal with. If you have a design in your head of something that you want, why not go to a local craftsman? Corey can take your direction, work with you, design it with you, and come up with a beautiful creation as a gift. And if you're looking to get in touch with Corey Wishart, how do you do it? Plunk yourself on the Miramichi and just ask the first person you see if they know Corey Wishart, and somebody's going to do it. So thank you. And how does Corey sponsor the show, Raj? Well, he just does it by being a great neighbor and the best brother-in-law a guy could have. So there it is. Okay, back to, I don't know, is this it right here?
We could end with this.
Yeah, well, we could do it, like, you have these ones. Are we?
It'll be more than you think.
Is 1986, this is going to be part 2 or part 3?
Well, there's a whole pile over there, but it's all in the
Okay.
book form.
So maybe we just do 2 episodes here of 1986?
Yeah.
And then, okay.
Okay,
So what do we got here?
Huge victory here.
Oh, okay, right on.
We can start off here before naming the team.
Okay. This says Palamo win National Sports Cup, and if anybody on the Miramichi knows, the MVHS high school in Newcastle, they're called the Palamu, and it says they win a National Sports Cup. And here, there's the squad. We'll read that out. Here's a photo. That's local pro hockey player Jimmy Malone presenting who with what. Okay, MVHS captain Robbie Wood receives trophy from National Sports Douglastown store manager Jim Malone. On behalf of the Palamu, the trophy is called the National Sports Cup. I remember when Jimmy had that store over at the mall, and who was on that? What is the National Sports Cup? There's the team right there. Who was on this team in 1986? They were none other than, okay, the National Sports Cup 85-86 champions are the Miramichi Valley High Palamu. Their coaches and players are, okay, Gary Wood, David Gray, Scott McCutcheon, Ross Urquhart, Sean Wood, John Can, Hatchett, David Hale, Frank Wilson, what a great player he was. He played some senior stuff here too. Burton Geeky, Gary Forrest, Todd Morris, Mark Dunnett, Eddie Pinder, and Robert Stewart, Davey Summers, Chris Fernandez, Todd Underhill, Tommy Johnson, Robbie Wood, Joy Augustine, Mike Dunnett, Conrad Coakley, and the Stick Boy, Raymond Driscoll, It was the first ever National Sports Cup. What is this? Given to the winners of regular season between the James M. Hill Tommies and the Miramichi Palamu. Okay. It was that across the river rivalry. So, which once again begs the question, why did the Miramichi cross the road? Well, they didn't cross the road. They crossed the river to go one up the Miramichi on the other side of the river. So congratulations. It was always a big rivalry. It was way bigger in the 80s. I remember it as a kid. There was parents yelling at kids in penalty boxes. There was fights. It was just a very, very different landscape, Raj.
Want to do these 4
Oh, sure.
Bonspiel winners?
Sure. So we got some Bonspiel. That looks like a good one too. We can go. We can.
Okay.
So this is from March 26, 1986. We got some Bonspiel winners here. Some curling on the Miramichi. Who are these people? You ever do much curling, Raj?
None.
Really, eh?
I
Can't do everything.
No.
It is fun. It's amazing too.
I would have had to use a hockey stick to shoot that thing down the ice.
And he probably would have scored too. He had some hands, folks. Section B winners: Jim Lord, Jackie Lord, Moira Habking, and Ken Habkin received their awards. Okay, we have the C Bonspiel winners. We got Joe O'Neill presents Fred Silliker. James Reddy on Sunday. Members of the Silliker rink are Kathy Silliker, Dodie Dixon, and Ann Dixon. The D Bonspiel winners, we have Stan Knowles, John Cavanaugh, Connie Cavanaugh, Lloyd Lockhart, and Nancy Lockhart. And the E were Bonspiel winners were Brian Amos, Frankie Amos, Brant Amos, and Brenda Mills. They won the Section E. So right on. Curling is just a fun day, man. It's just a fun event.
This is a real nice inside leaflet there.
Okay.
Of this hockey weekend from Miami.
Okay. So this was inside of a 1986 edition from January the 17th, and how times are different. This is all, it was called Minor Hockey Week, right? I remember as a kid how, like, magical, you know, hockey was as a kid. I'm sure it has the same feel for many kids today. There was just maybe something different at that era. So this was all about minor hockey. And on this, we have the 5 members of the Newcastle Kinsman Adams enjoy the games at the Miramichi Salmon Tournament. And from left to right, Aaron Tozer went on to be a great goaltender. And you know what his nickname was? Ugly. He was so good looking, they called him Ugly.
Oh my God.
Aaron Tozer. David Morrison, I think he's a teacher now. He was a great little hockey player. Chad Wood, Robbie Malpe, and Scott Geeky, folks. So thanks for sharing the Minor Hockey Week. Raj, is that it?
No, I'm going to just go inside here. There's
Okay.
A few other people that we should check out here.
Okay.
This young man here.
Who do we got here?
That's young man.
Okay.
Presenting. This young man's known.
Okay.
At least when we know.
Okay. So here's a couple more photos from Minor Hockey Week. There's one trophy being presented by a policeman, and there's Doug Chase presenting some awards right there. This is from 1986, Minor Hockey Week. Look at those great photos. We should show those.
Oh, we are, yeah.
Okay, so Robert Bruce of the Chatham Police Department presents the Bantam Championship trophy to Chris Moore, captain of the Chatham Bantam Oilers. The Oilers won the title. So Chris Moore, and then Dougie Chase with the trophies to the co-captains of the Renews novice hockey team at their closing banquet. We don't have names on that one, but that is Dougie Chase presenting to some Renews boys, and there's the police officer presenting to Chris Moore. Really cool, really cool.
Oh, your paper's brittle.
Oh yeah, it's a little brittle.
Yeah.
Okay, and then look at these 2 beautiful photos inside here, folks. Full page. Imagine being a kid and you open this up in 1986 and your photo is one of those. Look at how healthy and happy these kids look getting their hockey. It looks like they're finished. It looks like they're taking their equipment off. Maybe they're getting ready to go. Maybe one of each. Gordy Ross, Newcastle Adams, and Kyle O'Shea. So that's Gordy Ross right there, and that's Kyle O'Shea in 1986. Very, very excellent Magical times.
So I got Sharon checking to see if Gordy Ross is the son of Freddie Ross.
Okay.
He died in an accident. You
Okay.
can show
Frankie Wilson. Palamu team moves into a tie for first place. We just showed that team, but there's Frank Wilson right there. He was the son of Dr. Wilson, and he was a really good centerman, like just a real good hockey player. And he was he leading the league? Yes, he was leading the league in scoring. So this is interesting. In 1986, New Brunswick High School hockey, Frank Wilson was leading the league in scoring, and in it doesn't how many games? Okay, just a sec here. So about 14 or 15 games, or no, that doesn't seem right. Anyway, Frank Wilson at this time, this was January, he had 52 points. In second place, I'm going to wait for that. Third place was Todd Underhill. He had 33 points. Then there was Gary Forrest, also from Newcastle, 30 points. Peter Grant, I remember he went on, he must have been a relative of Danny. He had 29 points. Paul Campbell, 28 from Oromocto. Chris Brown of James M. Hill, Walter's son, at 26. Chris Fernandez, also of Newcastle, 25. Mark Dunnett of Newcastle, 25. Bob McDonald. Newcastle had a squad. He had 24. But in second place, mind you, Frank Wilson had 52 points. He was almost 20 points ahead of the number 2 guy, so obviously he was the best player. But number 2 was Mr. Matt Stairs, the baseball player out of Stanley, Fredericton area. Matt Stairs had 34 points and was in second place in scoring.
So we're going to close off our episode today with this.
Okay.
That's all we need there.
Okay. So this is national news, international news, 1986, September 11th. Dave Keon, Serge Savard, and they enter the Hockey Hall of Fame. There's Serge Savard. There's Dave Keon. And
Leo Boivin, used to play with Boston.
Leo Boivin. Okay, I don't know him. But anyway, they entered the Hall of Fame in 1986. And there he is. There they are, Raj. Once again, does that kind of conclude?
Oh, you want to sneak this in?
Does that kind of conclude 1986? Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, look at there, folks. Okay, one more. Anybody that's a baseball fan, that number 37, I was just telling Raj, I was like, this is one of Roger's old jerseys from his mill playing days. Look at that beautiful green back there. He just drying it off. He was out for a skate this morning. That's actually not true, but anyway, anybody that knows baseball knows that number 37 that came to Moncton was named Bill Lee. He was a very interesting character, left-handed pitcher, pitched for the Red Sox and Expos. Former Major Leaguer Bill Spaceman Lee gave it all he had on Thursday night at the Canadian Senior Baseball Championships at Kiwanis Park. Lee struck out 8 and allowed only 2 hits over 6 innings in leading the Moncton Mets to 7-1 romp over Quebec Trois-Rivières All-Stars. There he is, folks. Bill Lee played senior baseball in New Brunswick for several years, and he loved it. And I listened to some interviews. He's an interesting cat. He hit a home run in every province.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he played fast pitch softball as well. He said one of his favorite baseball memories of all time is hitting a home run in St. John's, Newfoundland to win a game in like Canadian senior baseball. So that's really cool when a guy like that comes and does that. So Raj, once again, thanks a lot. I think, is that going to be, that's our 1986, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be the end, but there's still a ton more. But.
Okay, well, we might move on to another year. We're going to figure out what that looks like, and then maybe we revisit 1986 at some point. We don't know how this is all looking. Anyway, I'm heading up to the Eco Center, the curling rink up there. There's a student tech fair. I don't know exactly the details. I'm going to go up and check it out, see what's up.
That'll be interesting.
Okay, anything else from you, Raj?
No.
No? Well, thanks for having us, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, later.